Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Stonewall Riots and what it means for Pride in 2021. This is day 2 of the 6-day series that I have decided to do during the 28th of June, 1969 to the 3rd of July. So I'm going to be kind of cheating and reading some stuff on my phone so I can talk to you while you watch this video of some awesome gameplay. I have decided to play Brent and Brant Hecking from The Sims 4 with their beautiful dog Rosie, and I've decided to turn one of them into a drag queen just because I thought that was appropriate. The career that he had was a fitness instructor, and it just didn't seem. I was like, honey, no. So the Stonewall Riots, also called the Stonewall Uprising, began in the early hours of June 28, 1969, when the New York City police raided the Stonewall Inn, a gay club located in Greenwich Village. The raid sparked riots among bar patrons and neighborhood residents as police roughly hauled employees and patrons out of the bar, leading to 6 days of protests and violent clashes with law enforcement outside of the bar on Christopher Street. In the neighboring streets and nearby Christopher Park, the riots served as a catalyst for the gay rights movement in the United States and around the world. So in the 1960s and preceding decades were not welcoming times for the LGBT community. For instance, solicitation of same-sex relations was illegal in New York City. For such reasons, LGBT individuals flocked to gay bars and clubs that were places of refuge where they could express their true selves and openly socialize without worry. However, the New York State Liquor Authority penalized and shut down establishments that served alcohol to suspected LGBT individuals, arguing that the mere gathering of homosexuals was disorderly. And I'm also going to post the link to this in the description. So thanks to the activists' efforts, these regulations were overturned in 1966, and patrons could then be served alcohol, but engaging in gay behavior in public, like holding hands, kissing, anything PDA, even dancing with someone of the same sex, was still illegal. And yes, even if you were a cishet member of society, dancing with another cishet individual, that was considered illegal. So the first documented human rights organization was founded in 1924 by Henry Gerber, a German immigrant, and police raids forced them to disband in 1925, but not before they had published several issues to their newsletter, Friendship and Freedom. So in 1966, 3 years before Stonewall, members of the Mattachine Society, I believe that's how you say that, was an organization dedicated to gay rights. They had staged a sip-in where they openly declared their sexuality at taverns, daring staff to turn them away, and suing establishments who did. So the crime syndicate, this is where it gets interesting. The crime syndicate saw profit in catering to shunned gay clientele, and by the mid-1960s, one of the crime families controlled most of Greenwich Village gay bars. And in 1966, they purchased the Stonewall Inn. It was a straight bar and restaurant. So they cheaply renovated it and reopened it the next year as a gay bar. Stonewall Inn was registered as a type of private bottle bar, which did not require a liquor license, and because patrons were supposed to bring their own liquor, the club attendees had to sign their names in a book to maintain the club's false exclusivity. So this family bribed the New York police precinct to ignore activities occurring within the club, and without interference, they could pretty much cut costs how they see fit. This included not having a fire exit, running water behind the bar to wash things, or clean toilets. The mafia reportedly also blackmailed the club's wealthier patrons who wanted to keep their sexuality a secret. Nonetheless, Stonewall Inn quickly became an important Greenwich Village institution, and it was large and relatively cheap to enter. So the raids were still a fact of life, and they raided the inn on the morning of June 28th, and it came as a surprise because the bar wasn't tipped off at the time. They were armed with a warrant. Police officers entered the club, roughed up patrons, finding bootleg alcohol, arrested 13 people, including employees, and people violating the state's gender-appropriate clothing statute. Female officers would take suspected cross-dressing patrons into the bathroom and check their sex. That's cringe. So, fed up with constant police harassment and social discrimination, angry patrons and neighborhood residents took to the streets, hung around outside of the bar, and increasingly became agitated as the events unfolded, and people were aggressively manhandled. At one point, an officer hit a lesbian over the head and as he forced her into the police van, and she shouted to onlookers to act, inciting the crowd to begin throwing pennies, bottles, cobblestones, and other objects at the police. Within minutes, a full-blown riot took place involving hundreds of people. The police, a few prisoners, and a village voice writer barricaded themselves in the bar, which the mob attempted to set on fire after breaching the barricade repeatedly. The fire department and riot squad were eventually able to douse the flames and rescue those inside and disperse the cloud, but the protests, sometimes involving thousands of people, continued in the area for more than 5 days, flaring up at one point after the Village Voice published its account and its riots. So obviously this legacy, the uprising didn't start the gay rights movement. It was a galvanizing force of LGBT political activism, leading to numerous gay rights organizations, including the Gay Liberation Front Human Rights Campaign, the PFLAG, and on the anniversary of the riots on June 28th, 1970, thousands of people marched the streets of Manhattan from Stonewall to Central Park in what was called Christopher Street Liberation Day, which was America's first gay pride parade, and the parade's official chant was, "Say it loud, gay is proud." In 2016, then President Barack Obama designated the site of the riots, Stonewall Inn, Christopher Park, and the surrounding streets and sidewalks a national monument in recognition of the area's contribution to gay rights. And there you have it. I am going to post more sources and this source because I basically just read it from a website. So I'm going to post both things in the description, and hopefully this video was informative to you and just kind of helped you learn a little bit more about the Stonewall Riots. I'm just trying to do my part. Again, this channel is a safe space. You have my full support, whether you're an ally or not. I myself am considered a member of the LGBT community. So naturally, I'm going to do anything in my power to just, fight for our rights. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.